It's showtime. Oh, I thought we were going to get the neck thing again. Yeah. Okay, well, we tried. Happy Sabbath, everybody. Welcome to Word Redeux 108. Howdy, Landon.
What up?
It's time to read. That's what up. Yeah. Howdy, everybody in chat. I've said hi to everybody over there so far. All right. How was your week, sir?
It was pretty good. Busy. Super busy. Even though I took a lot of time off.
Right. That's the way it works. Don't retire.
Right.
I hear that from all kinds of old guys. I've never been so busy since before I retired. Now I'm retired and I can't get a rest.
Yeah, well, better than the alternative.
Yep, that it is. That it is.
Stop working and your health will decline very quickly.
They got a pill for that.
Being productive.
They got a pill for that, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, everybody. Today we're going on in the book of Judges with chapters 5 and 6. It's probably going to be fairly short work because it's a lot of review. And if you like listening to audio Bible, then go to BibleStudyTools.com/audio-Bible. At BibleHub.com. Many different translations, lots of tools, study tools. eSword.net, plenty of translations. BlueLetterBible.org, many translations. KingJamesBibleOnline.org for 2 of the King James translations. Oh, imagine that. And let's see, what else? Anything else happening? Hey, look at that. JJ made it. Howdy, JJ. All right. Anything else we need to cover?
You said they were short, but
No. I said it's a lot of review that it'll probably be short. Okay, let's go ahead and pray in, shall we? Father, thank you very much for giving us this time to come together for fellowship and rest and just reveling in your word that you've given to us. We're very grateful and thank you for that. There's people who are suffering illnesses right now, and we would ask you to touch them and recover them fully. And also those who have anxiety over upcoming events, remind them to live for the day and that you have everything in your power and control. We ask you to pour your spirit out, your spirit of knowledge and understanding on everybody that's here now and in the future that may look at this and listen to this. And again, just thank you for everything you do and provide. Bless you in Jesus Yeshua's name. Amen. Okay. So, that weird dude's reading today. That weird guy. So, we're going to hook him up. We're going to start with that and then go there. And then we're going to kick one of these things up there like that. And ready, set.
Were you referring to me as the weird dude? Because I don't hear anything.
Don't say that.
Yeah, it's still not hearing. And I can hear you a little. Jonathan, I can't hear anything, buddy.
Everybody else? Anybody else having trouble hearing? Because I got it all set just right.
No, it sounded muffled. It's like something muffled for a second, but there was never. I never heard it. I didn't hear it start.
Let's start again.
I-
Let's see here.
I'm still getting nothing. That's what I was thinking, Jim. Yeah, it must be blocking out the audio or something.
Okay. Let's do it the other way. Are you ready? That. All right. So I'm starting to continue on from 18 of
John,
chapter.
we didn't hear anything. When I say nothing,
I mean, nada.
nothing.
Huh. Yeah, that is very interesting. Well, it's something we're going to have to troubleshoot later.
Yep.
So, okay, I'm going to continue on from verse 18, man. Zebulun and Naphtali were a people that jeopardized their lives unto the death in the high places of the field. The kings came and fought, then fought the kings of Canaan in Taanach and by the waters of Megiddo. They took no gain of money. They fought from heaven. The stars in their courses fought against Sisera. The river of Kishon swept them away, that ancient river, the river Kishon. My soul, thou hast trodden down strength. Then were the horse hoofs broken by the means of prancings, the prancings of their mighty ones. Curse ye, Miraz, said the angel of the Lord. Curse ye bitterly the inhabitants thereof, because they came not to the help of the Lord, to the help of the Lord against the mighty. Blessed above all women shall Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite, be. Blessed shall she be above women in the tent. He asked water, and she gave him milk. She brought forth butter in a lordly dish. She put her hand to the nail, and her right hand to the workman's hammer. With the hammer she smote Sisera. She smote off his head when she had pierced and stricken through his temples. At her feet he bowed. He fell, he lay down. At her feet he bowed, he fell. Where he bowed, there he fell down dead. The mother of Sisera looked out at a window and cried through the lattice, Why is his chariot so long in coming? Why tarry the wheels of his chariots? Her wise ladies answered her, Yea, she returned answer to herself. Have they not sped? Have they not divided the prey? To every man a damsel or two? To Sisera a prey of diverse colors, a prey of diverse colors of needlework, on both sides, meat for the necks of them that take the spoil. So let all thine enemies perish, O Lord, but let them that love him be as the sun when he goeth forth in his might. And the land had rest 40 years. Judges chapter 6. Maybe. There we go. Okay. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of Midian 7 years. And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel. And because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made them dens, which are in the mountains, in caves and strongholds. And so it was, when Israel had sown, that the Midianites came up and the Amalekites, and the children of the east, even they came up against them. And they encamped against them, and destroyed the increase of the earth, till thou come up unto Gaza, and left no sustenance for Israel, neither sheep, nor ox, nor ass. For they came up with their cattle and their tents, and they came up as grasshoppers for multitude. Both they and their camels were without number, and they entered into the land to destroy it. And Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites, and the children of Israel cried unto the Lord. And it came to pass, when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord because of the Midianites, that the Lord sent a prophet unto the children of Israel, which said unto them, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I brought you up from Egypt, and brought you forth out of the house of bondage. And I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of all that oppressed you, and drave them out from before you, and gave you their land. And I said unto you, I am the Lord your God. Fear not the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell, but ye have not obeyed my voice. And then there came an angel of the Lord, and sat under an oak which was in Ophrah, that pertained unto Joash the Abiezrite. And his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him, and said unto him, The Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. And Gideon said unto him, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befallen us? And where be all his miracles which our fathers told us of, saying, Did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt? But now the Lord hath forsaken us, and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites. And the Lord looked upon him, and said, Go in this thy might, and thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee? And he said unto him, O my Lord, wherewith shall I save Israel? Behold, my family is poor in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. And the Lord said unto him, Surely I will be with thee, and thou shalt smite the Midianites as one man. And he said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, then show me a sign that thou talkest with me. Depart not hence, I pray thee, until I come unto thee, and bring forth my present, and set it before thee. And he said, I will tarry until thou come again. And Gideon went in, and made ready a kid, and unleavened cakes of an ephah of flour. The flesh he put in a basket, and he put the broth in a pot, and brought it out unto him under the oak, and presented it. And the angel of God said unto him, Take the flesh of the unleavened cakes, and lay them upon this rock, and pour out the broth. And he did so. Then the angel of the Lord put forth the end of the staff that was in his hand, and touched the flesh and the unleavened cakes. And there rose up fire out of the rock, and consumed the flesh and the unleavened cakes. And the angel of the Lord departed out of his sight. And when Gideon perceived that he was an angel of the Lord, Gideon said, Alas, O Lord God, for because I have seen an angel of the Lord face to face. And the Lord said unto him, Peace be unto thee, fear not, thou shalt not die. Then Gideon built an altar there unto the Lord, and called it Jehovah Shalom. Unto this day it is yet in Ophrah of the Abiezrites. And it came to pass the same night that the Lord said unto him, Take thy father's young bullock, even the second bullock of 7 years old, and throw down the altar of Baal that thy father hath, and cut down the grove that is by it, and build an altar unto the Lord thy God upon the top of this rock, in the ordered place, and take the second bullock, and offer a burnt sacrifice with the wood of the grove which thou shalt cut down. Then Gideon took 10 men of his servants, and did as the Lord had said unto him. And so it was, because he feared his father's household and the men of the city, that he could not do it by day, that he did it by night. And when the men of the city arose in the morning, behold, the altar of Baal was cast down, and the grove was cut down that was by it, and the second bullock was offered upon the altar that was built. And they said one to another, Who hath done this thing? And when they inquired and asked, they said, Gideon, the son of Joash, hath done this thing. Then the men of the city said unto Joash, Bring out thy son, that he may die, because he hath cast down the altar of Baal, and because he hath cut down the grove that was by it. And Joash said unto all that stood against him, Will ye plead for Baal? Will ye save him? He that will plead for him, let him be put to death while it is yet morning. If he be a god, let him plead for himself, because one hath cast down his altar. Therefore, on that day, he called him Jerubbaal, saying, Let Baal plead against him, because he hath thrown down his altar. Then all the Midianites and the Amalekites and the children of the east were gathered together and went over and pitched in the valley of Jezreel. But the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon, and he blew a trumpet, and Abiezar was gathered after him. And he sent messengers throughout all Manasseh, who also was gathered after him. And he sent messengers unto Asher and unto Zebulun and unto Naphtali, and they came up to meet him. And Gideon said unto God, If thou wilt save Israel by mine hand, as thou hast said, behold, I will put a fleece of wool in the floor, and if the dew be on the fleece only, and it be dry upon all the earth beside, then shall I know that thou wilt save Israel by my hand, as thou hast said. And it was so. For he rose up early on the morrow, and thrust the fleece together, and wringed the dew out of the fleece, a bowl full of water. And Gideon said unto God, Let not thine anger be hot against me, and I will speak but this once. Let me prove, I pray thee, but this once with the fleece. Let it now be dry only upon the fleece, and upon all the ground let there be dew. And God did so that night, for it was dry upon the fleece only, and there was dew on all the ground. Okay. Well, that was fun. We'll have to see what's happening with the audio, because settings weren't working. All right. So let's go back to chapter 5, shall we?
I don't have anything before 18 because I couldn't hear it.
My goodness, you were loud. I'm turning you down there. Sir yells a lot. Sir shouts at a whisper. Okay. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So let's turn that back on and that back on. Let's see there. Okay. What do you got, Sir Landon?
I don't have I was just making a smart comment.
Yeah, well, you have a black mark. Okay. Anyways, I thought you'd get that because of Catholic school, but maybe not.
No.
You guys didn't have citizenship?
No.
No? Okay. All righty. Back to the chapter at hand, chapter 5. So this is all the song of Deborah and Barak, and it's basically a retelling, a singing of everything that we just read about in the first 4 chapters of the book of Judges. So if anything jumped out at anybody on that, then go ahead and put it in the chat. Excuse me. Who do we got here? There we go. All right. Now let me get back to this. There we go. That's why we need more readers, everybody. Okay. Anyways. Basically, they're singing it, and I can see where it gets repetitive. I can almost hear that, like where the main person singing it would sing the first line, sing that line, and then the backup singers would pitch in. But maybe not. I don't know. Okay, let's go to 6 because this is kind of evil. Seeing a repeating theme here. Starting at verse 1. The children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and so they get punished. Imagine that. I know, huh? So Midian prevailed against Israel, and they're oppressed, right? They took all of Israel's sustenance, their sheep, their goats, their oxen, didn't leave them anything, didn't even leave them donkeys.
Hmm.
Anything jump at you from that? Yes, there we go. Call and response. Except not like in the Catholic Church. Regardless of what they call that denomination of Catholic Church. Okay. Anyways, it's quite a bit. They're they're like grasshoppers because of their multitude, the Midianites. Isn't that funny? They've kind of changed places,
Right.
right? Because Israel said, "We are as grasshoppers in their eyes," and we take that to be as they were talking about size, but maybe it's linked to this statement right here.
Hmm.
Grasshoppers for multitude.
Jonathan, I
Interesting.
think my dog is ill because he doesn't whine like this. I'll
Okay.
be back. And
Okay.
risk clean up a dirty kennel. I don't want to deal with that. I'll be back.
All right. So Jim says Baal is Hebrew for husband. They married themselves to other gods, and that goes back to what we were talking about with uh, the word adultery. It's linked back to idolatry, right? Because there was that betrothal in the wilderness, not necessarily the marriage, but the betrothal for sure, right? Okay, so that I'm looking at the chat here to see what other comments we have. Oh, that's a good, interesting point. Like watching a halftime show from way up high, they all look like grasshoppers. They look like ants. Okay. So in Judges 6:6, that Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites. So they're pretty poor, but apparently not so poor. Uh, not so poor that they can't call Gideon, who has at least 2 oxen to slaughter, or his father does, and a big grove set up for Baal worship. Yep. The Methanites. The the Methites. Okay. The adulterous woman is generally referred to as the harlot. Yah's chosen bride goes off with others. And welcome, Fire of Yah. I haven't seen you in a while. Yah. Yahweh. That. Most interesting. That I got serious drag on YouTube side. Okay. Okay. All right. So continuing on down in this, I see a lot of similarities here between Gideon and Moses, right? It's like, oh, hold on a minute. That I don't think that I'm the person you want My father's house is a small house, and I am the least in my father's house. So very interesting here. That's a good point. Unleavened bread could indicate that this took place right after Passover. Very true. Very true. And hopefully Landon's dog's not exploding on him. Okay. So kind of funny, right? And then not only did Gideon make this meal, we're kind of seeing a reflection of Abraham here, right? Making the meal for the angels and the Lord. We see that, and then he's still not sure, right? And let's see here. Where was it that he was talking about the fleece? Okay, if this is for me to do, then make it so that the dew is only upon the fleece. And so, yeah, God does that. And then he's like, well, that could have been a fluke. So tell you what, make the fleece dry. And there we go, the sign of the fleece. Make the fleece dry, but have the dew all over the ground surrounding the fleece. So would that count as a temptation of the Lord, a testing of the Lord? Yes, it was towards the end of the chapter. Says Jim, who is supposed to be in that position right now. Okay. Okay, that's a good point. He needed 2 or 3 witnesses for confirmation. And he did get them. So it's real interesting. And we have the build up here to what's going to be happening. Notice, though, after he destroyed the altar, going back up a little bit, when he destroyed the altar of Baal, that he sends out messengers, right? Not only to his tribe of Manasseh, but also into Asher and Zebulun and Naphtali. And they come out. They're like, hey, we're prepared. What are we going to be doing? So, very interesting. And I know it's getting exciting, huh? Because we're going to have to we're going to have to watch them go ahead. What do we got? 7, I'm pretty sure. Do we get a big battle? We got a really big battle. But who was doing the fighting? Surprise. It's not Israel. Imagine that. Okay. That's right. Build the kingdom. So what do we got, everybody? What do we have? Any ideas? Anything else out of chapter 6? Anything else out of chapter 5? I didn't switch it over to 6. There's 6. I'll leave that there for a moment. Okay. I got nothing else on that. Come out of Baal-Elan. Yes. Next classes start Monday. C2KReport.com. Oh, that's not what we wanted. There we go. Okay. Hey, look at that dude.
I was right. he He needed out.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That eh, dogs have a propensity to make a big mess with either end.
Yes. And I got a pit bull with such a sensitive stomach. The Chihuahua, he's fine.
The Chihuahua, it's in their blood. Till they were bred, live off scraps.
Hmm.
All right. Well, you missed the best part, Landon. You're going to have to go back and watch it later.
All right.
Yeah. So, inquiring minds want to know, how did your art exhibition go?
I sold one painting. And I mean, it was nice. Got to meet some nice people. I find, I mean, if I'm just being completely honest, and in the background, me and Jonathan, the past few weeks, I was talking about cutting certain people out of my life when I felt like I wasn't enough for them. It is honestly one of the most positive things I've done. But every person that said that they were going to show up did not come, and it doesn't. It's an art show. It doesn't. I don't really care if they came or not. It frustrates me the quality of men that I'm surrounded by, and I'm just not going to settle for less. I'm happy that I met people. It was a wonderful show, but it's just like the people that I don't want to hang out with yes men. You know what I mean? And then they don't like, dude, I can't trust you with my son. I can't trust you with your spoken word to show up at a thing. It really doesn't bother me if you come or not. But so yeah, don't settle for less. But other than that, it was great. I sold a painting. Dude that had the main floor sold. He sold like 5 or 6 grand worth of stuff, and I sold a $200 painting. I was like, well, I was trying to make it to where people in Hammond could afford it, but I guess, it is a little more modern art. But yeah, it was still good. It was good for my first one. I have to make bigger pieces now.
Right? Yeah, or get the bottom floor,
Do what?
or get the ground floor
Oh yeah, yeah.
for the
Well,
exhibition.
I need more. I just didn't have enough to fill it. That was the issue.
Right,
You
right.
need large pieces for that, or like 100 small ones. So you got it, Jim.
Yep, that's right. So very interesting, these art shows. The ones I'm used to are the coffee houses that put up like a different artist's work every month.
Hmm. Yeah, they do that here as well. Um, we have something called PJ's. It's a delicious. I wish I could franchise it in Arizona. Just because it's I don't know what y'all's coffee's like, but it's just like it tastes like New Orleans. It's
Tastes
New
like
Orleans,
New Orleans.
New Orleans brand coffee. I know.
I don't know. I want to taste that. Is that during Mardi Gras or Lent? The
Right. It tastes like crime and sadness. I don't.
tastes like crime, sadness, and corruption.
Right.
And
I do like community. But if you're gonna like buy a cup of like $4 or $5 coffee, PJ's is awesome. But I drink community Mardi Gras flavor actually. King cake flavor. Excuse me.
pancake flavor,
King cake.
king cake. Oh, okay. I think I remember something about king cake.
Yeah,
That's
it's just.
another Mardi Gras thing, right?
It is. I'm not really sure where it comes from, and I've explained it to a friend of mine that grew up in Sedona, and she had never heard because there's like a little plastic baby. So the thing is, whoever gets it's in the cake. Whoever gets the baby has to buy the next king cake. And I didn't hear it. I was just looking at your response. That was funny, but um, the I don't. It has something to do with Mardi Gras, yeah. And they try and relate it to Christ, but to me, Mardi Gras is a completely pagan. They parade giant effigies of pagan gods around, and then they go, "This is Christian. This is a Christian. This is all about Jesus." And he's like, he's the only guy that doesn't get a float is Jesus. So I don't know how that But yeah, I don't know where the king cake comes from. It's good. It's just a breaded cake with sugary sweets on top. But it is kind of creepy when you think about it. You shoving a baby in a cake, then baking it.
Huh. I don't know what that was. You guys said you couldn't hear it though, right?
No.
So it's a fruit cake?
They're on one end of bourbon.
All right.
Oh.
Interesting. Uh, Interesting.
I don't think it relates to voodoo, Lynn. I mean, there's things. New Orleans is the one city you could be driving through downtown and turn a block, and then there's a rooster in the middle of the street. I normally don't see that in large cities, but and the only thing I can think of is that probably relates to some voodoo practices. Um, but that's yeah. I don't know much about it because I try and stay away from witchcraft.
I can't blame you there. Okay. Well, thanks for hanging out with me a little bit, Landon. That hopefully you'll stick around and help me figure out the audio. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Everybody else, thanks for coming. Certainly appreciate it. That is an awesome thing. We'll be continuing on next week and still trying to make time in my schedule to do Jasher. That is going to run parallel. So I don't know. It's probably going to have to be in the middle of the night. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see, though. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring a little bell thingy. That little bell, ring it. Just ring it. Not going to ring it like anything except a bell. That's all we're going to do. Anyways, everybody, love you all. Get a good day of rest. Talk to you soon. Bye.